And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you back here to Bohall Field at Cochise College. The Apaches are about to begin a three-game set with conference foe Eastern Arizona College, the Gila Monsters from Thatcher, Arizona, as we are here in a pretty chilly Douglas, Arizona this afternoon, 57 degrees, cloudy, and a slight gust here in Douglas. The Apaches had quite the month of March coming off of a doubleheader sweep of Arizona Christian College, and currently number 13 in the NJCAA Division I standings as we're about ready to go. However, the past couple of weeks or so, Cochise has hosted some non-conference NAIA JV university squads and is back into conference play here with Eastern Arizona, who is losers of two in a row right now. They were swept in a doubleheader against Arizona Western College on the 28th of March. The Gila Monsters lost game 1 3-6 to the Matadors and game 2 6-7. We're about ready to get going here at Bohall Field as number 4 Jalen Ryan will step into the box and lead it off for the Gila Monsters. Alex Venegas, the sophomore from San Luis, Arizona, the starting pitcher for this 9-inning game, as we're about ready to get going here. First pitch on the way, and that's outside in ball one. So first pitch here, 1:53 p.m., so a few minutes earlier than originally scheduled, as a 1-0 count here to Jalen Ryan. Next pitch down and in, ball two. Take a look at Alex Venegas' stats on the season so far. 7 wins, 2 losses, 5.47 ERA in 11 appearances for the sophomores. The next pitch gets away from Hadley Smith, and it's ball 3. So quick 3-0 to the leadoff hitter for Eastern Arizona. Alex Venegas also 30 earned runs, 17 walks on the season, 47 strikeouts. As the next pitch is called strike 1, so kind of a throwaway pitch for Jalen Ryan as he gets ready to go with the hitter's count. 3-1 for the leadoff batter for EAC. Next pitch is grounded over to second baseman. That is Sawyer Feck as he throws over to first, and there's one away. So a good start here for Alex Venegas after a 3-0 count and a ground ball over to second. There's one down here in the top of the first. That makes way for Miles Vandenheuvel, right-handed batter for Eastern Arizona. Miles Vandenheuvel, a sophomore, 6'1 sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona. First pitch coming, almost hits him. It's ball 1 inside. Defensively for Cochise, TJ Shaw, Kenny Ryan, third base, shortstop, left on the left side of the infield, Sawyer Feck and Andrew Yee on the right side at second base and first base. Next pitch called ball 2. Hadley Smith, starting catcher behind the plate for Alex Venegas. The outfield, very deep playing Alex Dabrowski in left, playing deep left for the Wind as the 2-0 count's going, and it chops over to third base TJ Shaw, throws over to Yee, and there's 2 outs. Just to finish off the outfield for Cochise, again, Alex Dabrowski on left, Francisco Laya in center, and it looks like Tyson Owens is the right fielder for the Apaches, and that's Reese Van Devander, the freshman right-handed infielder. First pitch, ball 1. So Van Devander from Scottsdale, Arizona, as well as 6'3", 220-pound freshman here with 2 outs. Next pitch is chopped over to shortstop. Kenny Ryan's there for the play, throws it across, and 1-2-3, down go the Gila Monsters. Quick, easy inning for Alex Venegas. Good start for the sophomore right-hander. We're going to get caught up here on the lineups. We'll be back for the bottom of the first. Stay with us. We are back live again here from Cochise College. Thank you for joining us here on the Athletics YouTube channel for the Cochise Apaches as we head into the bottom of the first here. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the starting pitcher for Cochise, Alex Venegas. Now we're in the bottom half of the frame here as Francisco Laya, the leadoff hitter for Cochise, is about ready to get going here. He will be facing the starting pitcher, Caleb Rosalo. Caleb Rosalo, a freshman right-handed pitcher, 6 feet, 185 pounds from Yuma, Arizona. As their left-handed pitcher, my apologies, Eastern Arizona, the yellow tops with gray bottoms. His first pitch to Francisco Laya was ruled ball one as kind of a different signal there from the umpire. We weren't sure if it was ruled a pitch or not. However, it is 1-0 here for Laya. His next pitch is down in the dirt. Quick 2-0 count for Laya. DJ Shaw, or Kenny Rhines, hitting in a new spot here in the lineup. He's on deck in the 2-hole. 2-0 pitch to Francisco Laya outside 3-0. So again, similar to the leadoff hitter for Eastern in the top half of the first, a 3-0 count to get things going here. Francisco Laya so far batting .373 on the season. 50 hits, 47 RBIs as the first pitch right down the pipe called strike one. Swinging a miss, strike two, and now it's full count. So Caleb Rosalo from Yuma, Arizona, 17 earned runs, 21 walks, 34 strikeouts on the season, a 3.28 ERA as the next pitch is grounded, foul down the third base line. Rosalo comes into the season. This is his 10th appearance on the mound. He's a two-way player, 1 win, 1 loss as a pitcher. So far, 46 2/3 innings on the 2025 season. Here comes the 3-2 pitch out of the windup to Francisco Laya right down the middle, called strike three. So a leadoff strikeout for Rosalo, the starting pitcher for EAC, and there's one down for Cochise. Kenny Ryan steps into the box for the Apaches, a right-handed sophomore from Tucson, Arizona. On the season, Kenny Ryan so far batting .348, 39 hits, 21 RBIs, slugging .446, and first pitch called ball one. Kenny Ryan was typically hitting about the 6 or 7 hole for Cochise throughout the majority of the season. Now moved his way up to the 2 hole, and Tyson Owens awaits on deck. Next pitch to Kenny Ryan, just a bit low, ball 2. Cochise right now sitting atop the ACCAC standings at a 17-7 conference record. A game and a half over the College of Southern Nevada as Kenny Ryan chops one foul, strike one. College of Southern Nevada sitting at second place, a game and a half behind Cochise with an 18-9 conference record. However, have played so far 2 less games than Cochise, so those games will be made up at some point. 2-1 pitch, Caleb Rosalo out of the windup. Here comes the next pitch, and this one's flied into center field. This one looks like it's in play, and it'll be caught by the center fielder, and there's 2 outs. Jalen Ryan, the center fielder for Eastern Arizona, is there for the catch. Tyson Owens now up to bat here, a left-handed freshman from Nevada, having himself an offensive season to remember here, a freshman season to remember as he's coming into the season so far, batting .388. That leads the team. Here comes the first pitch to Tyson Owens, called strike one. Tyson Owens, 50 hits, 33 RBIs, slugging .659 on the season so far. 21 extra base hits, and this one's gets away from the catcher here, ball one. 21 extra base hits to lead Cochise, 5 home runs to lead Cochise. Comes the 1-1 pitch out of the windup, Rosalo. This one skied into left field this time. It looks like Caesar is going to be there in left, and he is. That one's caught. So 1-2-3, down go Cochise. We will head to the top of the second. The score is going to remain Eastern Arizona 0, Cochise 0. We'll be back after a short break. All right, and welcome back here to Cochise College. The Apaches and Eastern Arizona are here for a first game of a three-game conference series, 0-0 as we head into the top of the second inning. Andrew Lee leading off for Eastern Arizona here for the second inning. Lee is a 6'3 sophomore from Fruita, Colorado, as strike one is called. For the starting pitcher, Cochise Alex Venegas, Andrew Lee, the batter for Eastern, as he's quickly off to an 0-2 count here. Andrew Lee batting .414 for Eastern this season, down and away, ball one. Trying to find his name here on the stat sheet, batting .414, 24 hits, 21 RBIs. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Venegas, swing and a miss, strike three, and that's a leadoff strikeout for Venegas to get the second inning going. 4 up, 4 down so far for Eastern Arizona as Drew Bufford about ready to get going here. Step in the box. Drew Bufford, a 5'11 freshman from Little Elm, Texas. 5'11, 200 pounds. First pitch here coming to Bufford down on the dirt, ball one. So if you're watching from home, there's a little bit of a drizzle now coming down on the playing field. It's starting to appear here in front of our front window. Chilly day here in Douglas, Arizona. 1-0 count, down low, ball two. So Cochise so far atop the ACCAC standings, followed by CSN, then Central Arizona sitting at number 3 as ball 3 is called. Arizona Western right now sits at number 4 in the conference. So if the season ended right now, the Apaches would be hosting Arizona Western for the first round of the region playoffs. But there is still 3 more weeks left of baseball to be played here in the regular season. Strike one is called to Drew Bufford. Eastern Arizona right now sitting at 6th. However, they're right behind the 4th spot as they're in a virtual tie with Yavapai as the next pitch is skied into center. Right center field, there's the first hit of the game for Eastern. This might be extra bases as Drew Bufford works his way over to second, and a stand-up double for Eastern Arizona to get things going in the second inning here. So as soon as the crack of the bat happened, Francisco Laya had to make a jump towards his left and just couldn't catch up to it as it fell in that right center alley there. That makes way for number 21, Jaron Caesar, a sophomore, 6'2 sophomore from Fort Worth, Texas, a left-handed batter. Now with the runner on second base. First pitch, swing and a miss. Jaron Caesar caught the last out on the top of the first. He's the left fielder for Eastern Arizona. Comes the 0-1 pitch, another swing and a miss. So far, say he looks just a little bit lost. Can't catch up to the breaking ball from Venegas. 2 breaking balls, 2 swings and misses. 0-2 pitch coming. And this one's chopped over, and Andrew Yee's going to be there for the putout. He touches first, and there's 2 away. In the process, Drew Bufford makes his way over to third on the fielder's choice. So 2 away here in the top of the second inning. Number 12, Gunnar Peterson comes up to bat, a 6'1 freshman from Portland, Oregon. Peterson, a right-handed batter, as the first pitch is called just a little bit low. Peterson so far batting .276 on the season, 27 hits, 11 RBIs, plugging .327. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and he checks his swing. This one, they say he didn't go, so quickly 2-0 here for Peterson. Next pitch to Peterson, up and in, ball 3. So 3-0 count here. Most likely will be taking the next pitch as Venegas will try and work all the way from behind here, down 3-0. Next pitch on the outside. Actually, this one's called strike one, so kind of a late call there from the umpire. We'll take it, though. 3 balls, 1 strike to Peterson. Drew Bufford at third. Comes a 3-1 pitch. That one down low, so he's going to draw the walk. Peterson makes his way over towards first base. And now there's going to be runners on the corner for Kane Carlos. Kane Carlos, a 5'7" freshman from Iwa Beach, Hawaii. 5'7", 160-pound infielder. So far in the season, Kane Carlos batting .284, 27 hits, 17 RBIs. As now Venegas will work out of the stretch. Here comes the first pitch, ball 1. Drew Bufford running at third, Gunnar Peterson at first, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Big conference game this afternoon as Venegas makes the throw over to first. So if you're just joining us, a 9-inning game today. Tomorrow will follow with a doubleheader. First game will be 7 innings. Second game will be a 9. Next pitch to Carlos, and that's called strike 1. Something we'll have to get used to today as the umpire kind of likes to call those strikes a little bit late. So we apologize in advance if we try to make the call ahead of time. We're doing our best here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kane Carlos. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Down and away, ball 2. Kane Carlos, 3 doubles on the season, 1 triple. Venegas another attempt over to first. Bottom part of the lineup coming up on deck. Chavez Serrano, a freshman on deck for Eastern Arizona. 2-1 pitch. This one swung on foul. Strike 2. Vegas 31 pitches so far in 2 innings here, and that's ball 3. So full count for the sophomore right-handed from San Luis. Three balls, 2 strikes. There goes the runner. This one gets the knob of the bat. Also could have gotten a piece of Kane Carlos's hand, and it looks like it did. Either way, he's going to be heading to first. Looks like at this point it was called hit by pitch. Kind of hit like his like it hit his hand, a couple fingers there. But that's going to load the bases for Alex Venegas. After a hit by pitch here, they're going to hit the gear here from Kane Carlos. He looks like he's going to be all right. So Drew Bufford at third. Gunnar Peterson at second. Kane Carlos running at first as head coach Todd Englehart's going to make a quick mound visit. Let's take a look at who's up to bat here before take a quick break. Chavez Serrano, also from Hawaii, same area as Kane Carlos, as he's about to come up to bat with bases loaded. We're going to take a short break, and we'll just hang on. If you just hang tight with us, we'll stay here as it was a quick mound visit. Really just an opportunity for Coach Englehart to pat his sophomore pitcher on the back, trying to keep his head up. He knows how good of a pitcher he is, and he can work out of trouble. Bases loaded with Gila Monsters here as a 9-hole hitter, Chavez Serrano, up to bat, and first pitch called, strike 1. One pitch. This one's fouled down the third base line, strike 2. Luckily, that ended up in the foul territory there. That could have been very costly for Coach Cheese. Just missed it. No balls, 2 strikes to Serrano. Top of the lineup on deck, that's Jalen Ryan. This will be pitch number 35 for Venegas, trying to get out of trouble here. Let's see how we can do. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's driven into left field. That one stays foul as Alex Dabrowski makes a run towards it. The count's going to remain 0-2. Serrano batting .222 on the season, 20 hits, 20 RBIs. Corona also has 3 doubles on the season and 1 triple. So a lot of speed on the bases. And Carlos at first. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one swung on another hard hit ball down the third base line, and it's foul. Count's going to remain 0-2. So good duel here. Good battle between Venegas and Serrano here in the top of the second. Venegas out of the stretch, 0-2 pitch. This one swung on foul again. We'll do it again. And 57 degrees here in Douglas, Arizona. Nice cloudy day. It is rather cold. It was something we weren't used to the past couple of weeks. We've been dealing with the heat over the past 2 weeks here. As Venegas out of the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. That one's down low, and it's ball 1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Venegas. This one's right towards Kenny Ryan, and he's going to be there for the line out. So Alex Venegas escapes a jam here. Bases loaded are left for Eastern Arizona. We're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. The score is going to remain EAC 0, Cochise 0. We'll be back after a short break. All right, we're about to get the bottom half of the second inning going here at Cochise College as Noah Allison, the designated hitter, will lead off for the Apaches. Noah Allison hitting in the 4 spot, the cleanup hitter for Cochise this afternoon. Kind of settling into that DH role as he's enjoying it, hitting .403 on the season. And first pitch is called strike 1 to Allison. So far this season for Noah, 29 hits, 30 RBIs. He's slugging .639. A lot of extra base hits for the freshman as the next pitch is called inside ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Noah Allison. 9 extra base hits on the season, 5 of which have been doubles as he fouls this one out of play, 1-2. Allison also has 4 home runs this season, all of which have been here at Bohall Field. Here comes the next pitch from starting pitcher for Eastern Arizona, ball 2, Caleb Rosado. Rosado out of the windup, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be a strikeout. Noah Allison strikes out looking. Doesn't seem like the home dugout agrees with that call, but there's one down here in the bottom of the second as TJ Shaw now steps up to bat for Cochise. TJ Shaw right now batting .363 on the season, 49 hits, 28 RBIs, slugging .481, a freshman from Henderson as the first pitch is called strike 1. TJ Shaw also 12 extra base hits, 10 of which have been doubles and 2 home runs. Here comes the next pitch from Rosado, and again called strike 2. So first 2 pitches have been called strikes here. No balls, 2 strikes to the freshman from Nevada. Next pitch called upstairs, ball 1. For the rest of the Coach Englehart's lineup, Sawyer Feck is on deck, followed by Andrew Yee, Hadley Smith, and Alex Dabrowski. Round out the lineup here for the first game of the 3-game conference series. Next pitch is chopped over to third. Third baseman's going to be there. Throws across, and he is called out at first. So Vanden Heuvel throws over to Van de Vander. That's a great pair of names there. Good battery, and there's 2 outs here for the bottom of the second. Sawyer Feck, the left-handed freshman from Calgary, Canada, up to bat. Comes the first pitch out of the windup from Rosado as Sawyer Feck almost wanted to pull the trigger on that one, but decided to hold back. Sawyer Feck batting .345 on the season, 40 hits, 26 RBIs. Next pitch into right field, and that's going to go in for a base hit. That's the Apaches' first hit of the game here with 2 outs. Let's see if Coach Ease can get things going here in the bottom of the second. A hit for Sawyer Feck, and now it's Andrew Yee for Coach Ease. Andrew Yee, another freshman, another hard-hitting freshman from Yuma, Arizona. Andrew Yee batting .300, an even .300 on the season. 36 hits, 35 RBIs, a couple of home runs. First pitch to Andrew Yee down in the dirt, ball 1. Andrew Yee will be making a homecoming to some extent in a couple of weeks as Coach Yee will head to Arizona Western in Yuma. I'm sure Yee will get quite the home crowd there for him. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the next pitch. That's called strike 1. Defensively for Eastern Arizona, we'll go over the names here. Vanden Heuvel and Carlos on the left side of the infield. Gunnar Peterson and Van de Vander on the right side. Drew Bufford, the catcher for the Gila Monsters. As here comes the next pitch, and this one's grounded over to second. That's going to be a tough play. Couple of hops and thrown over to first, and he's out. So Andrew Yee grounds out to short. Carlos throws over to first. That'll retire the side for Coach Ease. We're going to head to the top of the third. A good game here at Bow Hall Field. The score remains 0-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break. And thanks for joining us here at Coach Ease College, Bow Hall Field. We're about ready to get the top of the third inning going. It's still 0-0 here on this Friday afternoon. A 9-inning game for those that are just joining us. Eastern Arizona will get the top of the third here with their top of the lineup. Jalen Ryan grounded out to second base, his last at-bat back in the first inning. Shows bunt, pulls away, but this is going to be called a strike regardless here. 0-1 count to get things going. Jalen Ryan, batting .330 on the season, 36 hits, 18 RBIs. As here comes the next pitch from Alex Venegas, and that's upstairs, ball 1. Alex Venegas in his third inning of work so far, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, and he's allowed 1 hit. Next pitch is down and away, ball 2. 42 pitches so far for Venegas, the sophomore right-hander from San Luis, Arizona. Quite possibly making his last start here at home as a Cochise Apache. Here comes the next pitch, and that one's lined over to second base. Sawyer Feck is there, throws the first, and there's one out. That'll bring up Miles Vandenhyvel. Vandenhyvel batting .265 on the season, 27 hits, 22 RBIs, 14 walks. He's slugging .412 on the season. Alex Venegas wasting no time. First pitch coming. Starts off with a breaking ball and called strike 1. As I kind of alluded to right now, this could be the last home series for Cochise, as the rest of the regular season schedule is the liner into center, and that'll be a base hit for Vandenhyvel. As mentioned, the rest of the regular season schedule after tomorrow is on the road for Cochise. There's just no way to tell whether or not the Apaches will host a first round or even championship series for the region in late April. Reese Vandevander, the first baseman for Eastern Arizona, now steps into the box. He grounded out to short his last at-bat. This one skied into deep center field over the head of Francisco Laya, and that ball is gone. So a first pitch, 2-run home run for Vandevander, the first baseman for the Gila Monsters, puts EAC ahead 2-0 here in the top of the third. So just like that, the Gila Monsters are up 2-0 here at Cochise College. That's Vandevander's 6th home run of the season. Now Andrew Lee steps up to bat for Eastern. First pitch is called strike 1. So just to avoid confusion here, Eastern Arizona has Andrew Lee, that's with an L, L-E-E, and we have an Andrew Yee with a Y. Next pitch is grounded over to third. TJ Shaw is going to be there to scoop it up, throw it across, and there's 2 outs. 2 away here in the top of the third. Drew Bufford up to bat. He doubled into right center his last at bat. He's 1 for 1. Bufford, a freshman right-handed batter, batting .324. First pitch to Bufford, ball 1. Bufford, 5'11", 200-pound from Little Elm, Texas. Made his way over to Thatcher, Arizona. As the next pitch is downstairs, ball 2. 2-0 count here to Bufford. Bufford lines one over to third. TJ Shaw is there for the line out. Kind of had to fold over to his right side for a nice fancy catch there, and that retires the side. However, in the top of the third, Eastern Arizona, a 2-run home run from Reese Vandevander now puts the Gila Monsters up 2-0. We're going to head to the bottom of the third. Let's see if coaches can respond. We'll be back right after a short break. It's the bottom of the third here at Cochise College. The Apaches now trailing Eastern Arizona 2-0. They'll try to respond here. Plenty of time left. Bottom of the third, Hadley Smith will lead off for Cochise, the right-handed sophomore from Idaho. Caleb Rosado now in his third inning of work here for Eastern Arizona. His first pitch called down low for Hadley Smith. Smith on the season batting .200, 15 hits, 14 RBIs, 14 walks. As the next pitch is drilled down the left field line. This could be extra bases. And he's going to stretch it into a double. Let's see, it slides into second. That's going to be a double for Hadley Smith. Just the way Cochise wanted to get things going here in the bottom of the third, as he gets one right past the third baseman, Vandenheuvel, into left field and ends up using his speed for a leadoff double for Cochise. That'll make way for Alex Dabrowski, the right-handed batter from Chandler, Arizona. Alex Dabrowski, the 9-hitter, 31 hits, 15 RBIs. He's batting .360. Don't be surprised if he shows bunt here, as he likes to show bunt to start off. There he goes, pulls back. I think he might have caught a piece of it. And they're saying he didn't, so that's going to be ball one. We pulled back the bunt just in time. Alex Dabrowski, 5 extra base hits, 4 doubles, and 1 triple on the season. Runner on second, that's Hadley Smith, shows bunt again, pulls away, and ball two. So the first baseman, Van de Vander, read the scouting report. He's playing himself on the grass for Eastern Arizona. And the left-hander Rosado continues to work, and the next pitch to Dabrowski down low, ball 3. Top of the lineup, what waits on deck, that's Francisco Laya. He struck out his first at-bat. Alex Dabrowski here, 3 balls, 1 strike, 3 balls, no strikes. Comes the next pitch. That one called strike 1. The leadoff double for Hadley Smith, trying to get those runs back that were surrendered in the top half of the third, and a walk is drawn by Alex Dabrowski. So the 2 leadoff batters get on base for Cochise, and now it's Francisco Laya, who is no stranger to RBIs. He has 47 on the season so far, has 2 runners on base. It's like the corner infielders for Eastern are going to continue to play just a little bit in. Middle infielders trying to turn a double play. First pitch, breaking ball, and that's ball 1. Rosado, that's his 36th pitch of the game. So far, Rosado, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that was just right now to Dabrowski. Out of the stretch is Rosado. Next pitch is called strike 1. Earlier on in the season, Cochise traveled to Thatcher and lost 2 out of 3 to the Gila Monsters. As here comes the next pitch to Laya, and that's called strike 2. Cochise carried a 9-0 lead in the first game on a Friday afternoon over in Thatcher and surrendered several runs in the late innings of the game and ended up losing 11-10 as the next pitch is fouled away from Laya, and the count's going to remain 1-2. Cochise lost game 1 in Thatcher. They took game 2 and then fell to Eastern Arizona via the 10-run rule in game 3 on Saturday afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Laya. Here comes the next pitch. Down in the dirt, ball 2. Drew Buffer doing a good job keeping the ball in front of him. Every base runner is important in this game, and 2 teams that are in need of big wins late here in the season. Van de Vander now plays behind the first baseman. That's Dabrowski as the next pitch is down and away, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the sophomore from Venezuela. He struck out his last at-bat, but doesn't strike out very often in the season. Here comes the next pitch, and that's outside, and back-to-back walks for the pitcher, Rosado. That's going to load the bases for Cochise. Timeout is called from Eastern Arizona College head coach Kevin Kimball. We'll take a brief break here, and don't go anywhere. We got bases loaded for Coach E's. We are back here in the bottom of the third. If you're just joining us, Coach E's loading the bases up. A leadoff double and back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the third as Kenny Ryan now going to try and bring in 2 more runs and match the 2 that were surrendered in the top half of the third inning. Caleb Rosado still working on the mound for Eastern Arizona as the first pitch is away, and that's ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Kenny Ryan as this one's driven into left field. This one's going to fall in for a hit. Here comes Hadley Smith in to score. Alex Zabrowski is right behind him. They're going to pump the brakes for Francisco Laya at third. So a 2 RBI double for Kenny Ryan. It's now 2-2. Kenny Ryan catches the inside and drives it. He pulls it towards the left field line, ends up in fair territory. So a good stand-up RBI double for Ryan. And the Apaches quickly matched the 2 runs that were given up in the top of the third. It's now 2-2 with no outs. First pitch to Tyson Owens, drives this one deep into right field. This one ain't coming back. Oh, this one hits the wall. Francisco Laya is going to come in and score. Kenny Ryan is going to score. It's now 4-2 Cochise. Looks like the wind kind of kept this one in the ballpark here, that breeze, as it hits almost right below the yellow edge of the fence there. If you're watching, you can see even Tyson Owens with a nice bat flip as this ball was driven deep into right. It ends up staying in the ballpark, however. Still ends up being another 2 RBI double. It's 4-2 Cochise. And first pitch to Noah Allison. I'm not sure how that one ended up staying in, but it did. It looked like everybody here at Bow Hall Field knew that that ball was out of here. Ends up staying in. And Serrano ended up playing the carom off the wall to throw it in quickly. Next pitch, breaking ball. And that's 2-0 count to Noah Allison. There's still no outs here in the bottom of the third. Tyson Owens is running at second base, still kind of shaking off what could have been his 6th home run of the season. 2-0 count here to Noah Allison. Cochise up 4-2. Next pitch is down and away, ball 3. Looks like Rosado is starting to lose control here as this is pitch number 50 on the way. Rosado out of the stretch. Here comes a 3-0 pitch right down the pipe, strike 1. Three balls, 1 strike to Noah Allison. Here comes the next pitch. This one's chopped up the middle. It looks like second baseman Peterson will be there. He throws across. And that's the first out of the bottom of the third for Cochise. Tyson Owens makes his way over to third. And that's going to bring up TJ Shaw. He grounded out to third base his last at bat. A bit of productive hitting for Noah Allison, who moved the runner over from second to third. Still no movement in the Eastern Arizona bullpen, as this might be Rosado's game to keep going. At least he'll finish this inning. Strike 1 called to TJ Shaw. Rosado, a left-handed freshman from Yuma, Arizona. No balls, 1 strike. This one's going on and fouled out of play, and it's 0-2 to TJ Shaw. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch from Rosado, swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. TJ Shaw goes down swinging. That's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Shaw is 0 for 2. Sawyer Feck, 1 for 1 on the day. He's coming up to bat here for Coach Cheese. There's now 2 outs in the bottom of the third. So if you're just joining us, Coach Cheese started off the inning with a tear here with there's a double, back-to-back walks, another double, and then another double by Tyson Owens. So back-to-back doubles. Called strike 1 to Sawyer Feck. The Apaches responded quickly and now up 4-2. No balls, 1 strike to Sawyer Feck, down low, ball 1. Cochise and Eastern Arizona will meet again tomorrow to wrap up the regular season series for a doubleheader as the next pitch is sliced. And it's strike 2. Foul ball from Sawyer Feck. So again, Cochise and Eastern Arizona will meet tomorrow for a doubleheader beginning at noon. And that'll wrap up the regular season home schedule for the Apaches. Here comes the next pitch to Sawyer Feck. This one also sliced foul. Count's going to remain 1-2. Quick little visit from the catcher, Bufford. He's going to have a quick chat to Rosado. Rosado, 57 pitches so far in 3 innings, 3 2/3 innings of work. So Rosado will get a little quick reset here, trying to get himself out of it, eliminate the damage, minimize the damage. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Sawyer Feck. He's going to get one right up the middle. Good play by the second baseman, but he loses control. That'll bring in another run for Cochise. So a good attempt by Gunnar Peterson, who dove to keep the ball somewhat in the infield there, but kind of throws the ball away. And the inning will continue here. It's 5-2 Cochise. Sawyer Feck running at first base, and that's going to make way for Andrew Yee. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short back in the second inning. On deck is Hadley Smith. He got it all going. And there goes Sawyer Feck. First pitch is outside for Andrew Yee. So a stolen base for Sawyer Feck. He's now in scoring position. A 1-0 count to Andrew Yee from Yuma, Arizona. So Cochise now with 5 hits as a team, 5 runs early on here in the bottom of the third. And a 1-0 pitch here to Andrew Yee as he drives one down the third base line, and this one's going to be foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andrew Yee. Yee batting .300 on the season so far. 35 RBIs. He has another attempt here, another opportunity for another RBI. Here comes the next pitch, down and away, ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Yee. This one's fouled off, and it's strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The right-handed freshman. And thanks for joining us here this afternoon, Friday, April 4th, here at Bow Hall Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Yee pops this one foul. The catcher, Drew Bufford, going to try and make an attempt, but ends up getting it out of play. The Apaches will be on the road for the next 3 weeks as they will head to Central Arizona College, Arizona Western, and then Yavapai College to finish off the season. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Andrew Yee. That's down low, ball 3. So full count here. Rosado trying to escape this bottom half of the third inning here for Eastern Arizona. 5 runs surrendered here in the bottom of the third. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That one swung on and fouled away. Good battle between Yee and Rosado here. Three-two pitch. That one swung on and right back to the pitcher, Rosado. He's going to step and throw over to first, and that's going to retire the side. However, 5 runs off of 3 hits to put Cochise ahead here as we head to the top of the 4th. The Apaches now lead the Gila Monsters 5-2. We'll be back after a short break. We're back live here from Bull Hall Field here at Cochise College. We're about to get the top of the 4th inning. If you're just joining us, the Apaches 5 runs the bottom half of the 3rd. And now carry a big lead over Eastern Arizona here for Alex Venegas, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss to Jaron Caesar. So Alex Venegas now throwing with the lead for the first time this afternoon. 57 degrees here at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona. No balls, 1 strike. This next pitch down low. Kind of gets the bottom corner there, ball 1. Jaron Caesar grounded to first his last at bat. That was back in the 2nd inning. As the next pitch is down low, ball 2. Caesar on the season batting .308, 33 hits, 28 RBIs. As the next pitch is chopped towards the pitcher, kind of identical to the last out of last inning, as Venegas throws over to first and 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Gunnar Peterson now up to bat for Eastern Arizona. He walked his last at bat. Peterson, right-handed 6'1" freshman from Portland, Oregon, as the first pitch is called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Peterson. This one called ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Venegas, 57 pitches so far. This next pitch down in the dirt, ball 2. Only 1 strikeout so far for the sophomore. 1 walk, 2 earned runs. He's allowed 3 hits. Out of the stretch, 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. That one's called strike 2. Good placement there as he dots the outside edge of the strike zone. Looks like Venegas now trying to settle himself in with a 3-run lead. No need to tense up or panic as the next pitch is swing and a miss, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Venegas. Good start to the inning here for Cochise, as there's quickly 2 outs. Kane Carlos, he was hit by the pitch kind of in the hands, his left hand, his last at bat. Coming up to the box here for Eastern Arizona. Eastern Arizona head coach Kevin Kimball, a junior college World Series champion as a head coach at Phoenix College a couple years ago. First pitch to Kane Carlos called strike 1. Kevin Kimball in his second year as the head coach of the Gila Monsters. Next pitch to Carlos. This one doesn't get the call, ball one. One just outside, ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kane Carlos. So far, 284 on the season, 27 hits, 17 RBIs. Trying to extend the inning for EAC as the next pitch called just a little bit down low, ball three. If Carlos gets himself on base, Chavez Serrano waits on deck. And Cochise College, 17 wins, 17 losses in the conference. As the next pitch is driven straight towards Kenny Ryan, the shortstop. He throws over to Andrew Yee. 3 up, 3 down for Eastern Arizona as Alex Venegas now settling into a groove as we head to the bottom of the fourth. The Apaches maintain a 5-2 lead. We'll be back after a short break. All right, again, thank you for joining us here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hadley Smith, he led off in the third inning with a double. He's so far 1 for 1. He got everything going for Cochise last inning. He drove a liner right down the third base line. Caleb Rosado still working on the mound for Eastern Arizona, the left-handed pitcher, the left-handed freshman. And here comes the first pitch here to get the bottom of the fourth going, and that's outside, and it's ball one. Again, as mentioned, Rosado still working on the mound. He's out of the windup here as Hadley Smith pops one up. This one looks like going to get out of play, and it's strike one. Rosado, so far, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Hadley Smith, and that pitch is upstairs, ball 2. Hadley Smith does have 2 home runs this season. He also has 2 doubles. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Another sophomore for Coach Engelhart, who hopes this won't be his last weekend here at Bohall Field in a Cochise uniform. Caleb Rosado out of the windup. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, and that's outside, ball 3. Hadley Smith been pretty much the everyday starting catcher for the Apaches. Sometimes takes the second game off of a doubleheader as the next pitch is fouled up, popped up, and it'll get out of play for the catcher, Bufford. Next pitch is driven deep, but this one's going to be foul. And we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is Hadley Smith's 93rd plate appearance this season. Slugging .307 for Cochise here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. Then foul to the backstop. We'll do it again. Good battle here between Smith and Rosado. Alex Dabrowski awaits on deck. He walked his last at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That one's down low, and a leadoff walk for Hadley Smith and Cochise. So one runner aboard here for Alex Dabrowski. Hadley Smith running over at first. So they've kind of been their counterpart. They're kind of been partners here leading the Cochise Apaches team as sophomores along with Kenny Ryan. But Alex Dabrowski here now with 1 runner on, shows bunt. He's going to get this one down the third baseline, foul. No balls, 1 strike. Yeah, so Hadley Smith along with Dabrowski, Kenny Ryan, Matisse Nayrall, been doing a good job leading this Cochise Apaches team in their sophomore season. No balls, 1 strike, shows bunt again, gets this one down, again foul. This time behind the catcher. Dabrowski kind of frustrated with himself there as he's down 0-2. Francisco Laya's on deck. He walked his last at-bat. So far 0 for 1 on the day with the strikeout. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This one's chopped up the middle here. This look could be 2. There's 1. Scoops it up at first, and there's a double play. So Dabrowski, not with the ideal ground ball over to short. He was right into the glove of the Eastern second baseman, and they quickly turned 2 here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th for Francisco Laya. Again, Laya walked his last at-bat, struck out in the first inning, leads the team in RBIs with 47. Here comes the first pitch. That's down and away, ball 1. 174 plate appearances for the sophomore from Venezuela. Next pitch, breaking ball, and called strike 1. Cochise with a 36-8 overall record as Laya fouls one off, and that's strike 2. 36-8 overall record. They are currently on a 13-game winning streak. We'll take a look at their numbers from the month of March, which have been pretty incredible. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caleb Rosado out of the windup. Here comes the next pitch. Laya wanted to go, but pulled back, and that's ball 2. So as mentioned, now that we are in April, we can take a look at Cochise Baseball's March numbers. A 20-1 record, 20 wins, 1 loss, 173 runs scored in the month of March as the next pitch is down in the dirt, ball 3. As a team, the Apaches batted .352, 194 hits, 12 home runs, 66 extra base hits, 63 stolen bases. So offensively, unbelievable month of March. Next pitch is away, and Francisco Laya draws a walk, gets himself on first base. During the month of March, Cochise pitching was also on a good tear with a team ERA of 2.89, 169 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.12. And Kevin Kimball is going to come out and make a pitching change for Eastern Arizona, it looks like, as he makes a motion towards the bullpen. See who's coming out. So offensively, pitching was great for Cochise. How about their fielding? A fielding percentage of .975, so nearly perfect. Almost no errors in the month of March. So a great month as they try to carry that momentum forward into April. And there will be a pitching change for Eastern Arizona. It's going to be number 3, Jimmy Bolanger, a freshman right-handed pitcher. We're going to give him a little bit of time to warm up. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Cochise up 5-2. We'll be back in a short break. We are back here after a short intermission as Jimmy Bolanger is now the relief pitcher for Eastern Arizona. We'll take a quick look at his stats in just a bit. He's a freshman right-handed pitcher, 5'10", 185 pounds from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. His first pitch is called ball one. To Kenny Ryan, who is 1 for 2. He doubled his last at-bat. Next pitch upstairs, ball two. So 2-0 count to Kenny Ryan. So again, Jimmy Bolanger, a 1 point, actually here, looking at the wrong picture here, a 6.75 ERA. This is his 8th appearance on the mound for Eastern Arizona. Pitching out of the stretch, the 2-0 pitch is upstairs, ball three. Real pitch to Kenny Ryan is going to be called strike one. First strike of the day for Bolanger. Again, this is his 8th appearance on the mound. So far, he's pitched 12 innings this season. Next pitch down on the dirt, and Kenny Ryan draws a walk. Back-to-back walks for the Apaches. 2 runners aboard here as Tyson Owens, who nearly missed his 6th home run of the season, now up to bat here. He doubled last inning right off the fence, off the 350 mark there on the right field line. Runners on first and second, infield playing back for Eastern Arizona. 2 outs. Next first pitch to Tyson Owens, down low, ball one. Laya running over at second. Kenny Ryan running at first. Cochise up 5-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bolanger out of the stretch. Next pitch is fouled away, strike one. Tyson Owens from the Las Vegas, Nevada area. Here batting with 2 outs, leading the team in extra base hits and home runs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. This one's chopped foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. After his last hit in the 3rd inning, the right fielder is playing almost near the warning track there. Anything over his head would most likely be gone anyway. Trying to keep everything in front of him is the right fielder, Serrano. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tyson Owens, 2 outs. Here we go. Next pitch is grounded over to the first baseman, Van de Vander, as he tosses over to the pitcher, and that's going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, but 3 walks for Cochise. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. The score remains Apaches 5, Gila Monsters 2. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back here to Cochise College Bow Hall Field. Top of the 5th inning for Eastern Arizona. Chavez Serrano is going to lead off, the left-handed batter for the Gila Monsters. Alex Vanegas back out to work on the mound for Cochise. 66 pitches. This will be pitch number 67 as that's outside, ball one. As mentioned earlier, a freshman left-handed two-way player is Chavez Serrano from Iwa Beach, Hawaii. As the next pitch is grounded over to second, Sawyer Feck's going to have to come in and get it. Throws over to first and quickly one out at the top of the fifth. One out here for Eastern Arizona. It's now the top of the lineup, Jalen Ryan. He grounded out both times to the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 as the next pitch is grounded over to Kenny Ryan at short. He throws across and one pitch and another out for the Apaches. So quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the fifth, and it's Miles Vandenhyvel. He's 1 for 2 on the day here. Alex Vanegas only 3 pitches this half inning so far. Out of the stretch, here comes the first pitch, called strike one. Reese Vandevander waits on deck. He homered, 2-run home run, his last at bat back in the third inning. No balls, 1 strike, down and away, ball 1. Seems like the wind kind of calmed down here in Douglas. It's still 55, a nice crisp, chill 55 degrees here in Douglas. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's down the middle, called strike 2. A little bit of rain is expected within the next couple of hours here. We'll try to get out of here before that rain does touch ground here in Douglas. 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled off and out of play. After this homestand, Cochise will head to Yuma, Arizona, and will face Arizona Western next Friday and Saturday as Vandenhyvel fouls another one off. The following week, the Apaches will visit Central Arizona College in Casa Grande and then finish off the regular season schedule at Yavapai and Prescott. Originally was scheduled here at home, but had to flip the schedule due to the weather changes. As the next pitch is right down the middle, breaking ball catches him looking, and 1, 2, 3 go the Gila Monsters. Alex Vanegas sticking with his groove there on the mound. He's feeling it now. It's now headed to the bottom of the fifth inning. Cochise remains with the lead. It's 5-2. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here from Cochise College. We're about to get the bottom half of the fifth here. We're halfway through the 9-inning game as Noah Allison will lead off for the Apaches. He's 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. Here comes the first pitch. That's upstairs, ball 1. Jimmy Bolanger is coming out now for his first full inning of relief work on the mound for EAC. As he's out of the windup, here comes the 1-0 pitch, and that's way outside, ball 2. Noah Allison, the freshman from Santana, Arizona, he's kind of settled in as the designated hitter for Cochise. As long as Tyson Owens is out in the field, it seems like Noah Allison is the everyday DH. Strike one is called, and a little bit of frustration shown from Allison here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch inside, ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch, and that one's right down the pipe for strike 2. Apache's now in April, coming off of only 1 loss in the month of March. That was CSN early in the month. As the next pitch is inside, and Noah Allison draws the walk. That's the 3rd leadoff batter to get aboard in a row for Cochise. That'll make way for TJ Shaw. He's also 0 for 2 on the day he struck out his last at bat. Jimmy Bolanger now out of the stretch. Noah Allison running at first. Here comes the first pitch, and that one's grounded into left field for a base hit. Third baseman Vandenheuvel will try to make a diving play for it. Gets through Vandenheuvel and Carlos, the shortstop. Finds his way into left field for a base hit. So a one pitch hit for TJ Shaw, and that's Sawyer Feck up to bat here. Sawyer Feck is 2 for 2 on the day. Jimmy Bolanger now working with 2 runners on and no outs here out of the stretch. Here comes the first pitch to Sawyer Feck. Breaking ball gets away from the catcher, Drew Bufford, and the base runners are going to advance. A pass ball there gets runners over to second and third. Noah Allison running at third, TJ Shaw running at second. 2 runners in scoring position for the left-handed freshman. Infield's going to come in here for Eastern Arizona. Like I said earlier, every base runner highly important here. Here comes the next pitch to Sawyer Feck, and it's outside, ball 2. It's like the coach for Eastern Arizona is going to send the middle infielders back, play regular depth here. 2 balls, no strikes to Sawyer Feck. This one's driven into deep right field. This one, though, looks like it's going to be in play for Serrano. That's going to tag in Noah Allison as he's going to trot in cross home plate. That's the 6th run of the game for Cochise. So good productive hitting by Sawyer Feck as he hits a sacrifice fly into right field, brings in Noah Allison. It's now 6-2 Cochise College. TJ Shaw also tags over from second base. He's now at third. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, and it's Andrew Yee up to bat. He's 0 for 2. Bolanger out of the stretch, first pitch, and that we can see it coming from way up here. That hits Andrew Yee, the left side area there. And first pitch, hit by pitch for Andrew Yee, gets over to first base. Quick little visit from the infield team here for EAC. Runners on the corners, Andrew Yee and Jay Shaw. Adley Smith coming up to bat. He's 1 for 1 with the walk. And that's going to be another change there for Coach Kimball and Eastern Arizona. So that'll close the books on Jimmy Bolanger, who only managed to take care of 2/3 of an innings of work, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks on the day, and that'll be it for the relief pitcher. New pitcher on the mound for Eastern Arizona. Looks like it's number 15, Robert Durnan, freshman from Mesa, Arizona. He's going to get warmed up. We'll be back after a short break. All right, so we're back here. The third pitcher of the day for Eastern Arizona. His name is Robert Durnan. Again, a right-handed freshman from Mesa, Arizona. He's 6'1", 165 pounds. We'll take a look at his stats in just a bit as Hadley Smith comes up to bat for Cochise with runners on the corners and one out. First pitch to Hadley Smith, and it's called strike one. Robert Durnan, so far on the season, a 3.52 ERA, 1 win, and no losses. This is his fifth appearance on the mound for Eastern as Hadley Smith drives one in the left. There's an RBI base hit for the sophomore. It's now 7-2 Cochise. So Hadley Smith drives in TJ Shaw and extends the lead, adds some more insurance here for Cochise. And there's still only one out in the bottom of the fifth. Hadley Smith having himself a good day. He's 2 for 3. Now it's Alex Dabrowski. He's 0 for 1 with the walk. Durnan so far only 2 pitches in here and has given up a run. First pitch to Alex Dabrowski, down low, ball 1. However, that run will be charged to Jimmy Bolanger as far as ERA is concerned. Andrew Yee running at second. Hadley Smith over at first. Alex Dabrowski at the plate for Cochise. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's down low, ball 2. Francisco Laya on deck. He's itching for his first hit of the game. He's drawn 2 walks and he's struck out. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Dabrowski. That one catches the outside there, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. Robert Durnan going to work here with Alex Dabrowski, and that one's down low and 4 straight pitches. Dabrowski draws his second walk of the day. That'll load the bases now for the top of the lineup. Francisco Laya, again, itching for his first hit of the game. Right opportunity here with 1 out. Here comes the first pitch to Laya, and this one's going to almost hit him. He kind of gets himself out of the way in the last second there. That's ball 1. Eastern Arizona, after the 3-game series here, will host Post-Grad Sports next week at home in Thatcher. As here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's down in the dirt and almost gets away there, ball 2. After the Post-Grad Sports doubleheader, the Gila Monsters will finish off their regular season with Central Arizona, a trip to Yavapai College, and then 3 games against Southern Nevada at home. Two balls, no strikes to Francisco Laya as this one is downstairs, ball 3. Andrew Yee running over at third. Hadley Smith at second. Alex Dabrowski running at first base. Base is full of Apaches here trying to break this game wide open for Robert Durnan, the pitcher for EAC. Here comes the next pitch, and that's outside, and another walk is drawn for Cochise. That'll bring in a run. Andrew Yee's going to come in and score, and round goes the carousel here. That's a walk for Francisco Laya. Laya's third walk of the game. 8-2 now, Cochise with a 6-run lead. Kenny Ryan, also with a walk and a double, is up to bat here for the Apaches. The Apaches trying to win their 14th game in a row. Comes the first pitch to Kenny Ryan, and that's breaking ball driven down the left field line, and that's going to bring in some more runs. Here comes Hadley Smith. Alex Dabrowski again right behind him. They're going to hold Francisco Laya over at third base. So again, a little bit of deja vu there as that happened just a couple innings ago. Kenny Ryan hits a double, RBI double for Kenny Ryan. That's 4 RBIs on the day for the sophomore from Tucson. And he actually scored the same runners, Hadley Smith and Alex Dabrowski. And it's 10-2 now, Cochise in the bottom of the 5th. This game has just kind of gotten away from the Eastern Arizona pitching staff as Cochise is just taking advantage of it here. Kenny Ryan now, that's his second double of the game as the first pitch to Tyson Owens is called down low, ball 1. Ten runs, 8 hits so far. We're not even close to finish here at Bohall Field. The Apaches with a 8-run lead. Robert Durnan out of the stretch. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one swung on and foul tip, strike 1. Now, if we're even looking towards a potential 10-run rule, if these 2 runners on base score, the Apaches would be 3 outs away from wrapping this first game up. One ball, 1 strike to Tyson Owens. Here comes the next pitch, and that one's right down the pipe, strike 2. I know the fans wouldn't mind a 55 degrees, nice and chilly day. Wouldn't mind a quick game here. A Cochise win would be 14 in a row. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Robert Durnan. That one's outside, ball 2. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m. first pitch for a doubleheader. Tom Heck will be on the play-by-play, and that'll wrap up the regular season home schedule for the Apaches. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off and out of play, and that count's going to remain 2-2. Tyson Owens with a ground ball over to first base, his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Good opportunity for 2 RBIs here for the freshman. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's down and in, ball 3. It's starting to get a little chippy out there, as you can kind of hear the fans might disagree there with the call. Good turnout here at Bohall Field. It looks like there's a decent crowd outside there, considering the circumstance and considering the weather here in Douglas, as time is called a pitch timer violation, not the ideal time for the pitcher, as the field umpire says time's up on Durnan, and that's going to be ball 4 for Tyson Owens. So bases loaded here for Noah Allison, who walked. He got things going here in the top of the 5th. So we're batting around the order here in the 5th inning for Cochise. Now it's just getting out of hand here for Eastern Arizona. Noah Allison can just break this open as he drives one in the right field, but that one's going to be right to the right fielder, and that's going to retire the side. However, oh, that's the second out of the inning. I apologize on the jump the gun here. So liner right to the right fielder, Sorono, for the second out of the inning. But in the process, Francisco Laya does tag and score. This could be it if the runner scores based off of a 10-run rule here. Here comes the first pitch to TJ Shaw. Kenny Ryan running at third. Tyson Owens over at first. One ball, no strikes to the freshman. Next pitch is down low, and here comes the runner. Kenny Ryan is going to get into home safely, and that is it. So unusual circumstances here. In the 5th inning, Cochise takes the Game 1 win over Eastern Arizona, a 10-run rule. which goes into effect in the 5th inning of a 9-inning game. And that's it. 14 wins in a row for Todd Engelhart and the Cochise Apache baseball team. A final score of 12-2 over Eastern Arizona. We are nowhere near finished, though, however, as the Apaches and the Gila Monsters will face off again tomorrow afternoon for a doubleheader. Join us at noon as Tom Heck will be on the play-by-play. The final 2 home games of the regular season for 2025 will take place tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at the line here. The final box score for this afternoon's game: 12 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Cochise. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Eastern Arizona. 14 wins in a row for Cochise. They'll be back again tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I also would like to thank our in-game staff, Jacob Saavedra, Sean J. Morales, J.J. Beard, for their help all season. Again, Tom Heck will be here tomorrow for the play-by-play. Join us on YouTube. Have a good rest of your afternoon.